What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be predicting the 25-26 Premier League table. Now, a little bit of a clarification. Obviously, the transfer window is still open and hasn't concluded yet, but with the Premier League season just around the corner, I felt it was a perfect opportunity for me to give you my predictions on how I feel the teams will pan out this season. Now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, please make sure to do so. Also, comment down below how you feel these predictions panned out, and don't forget to like and click that notification bell as well so you know every time I make a new video. Without further ado, let's get right into this. So obviously, as you can see here, I have tiers listed for each team, and it's going to group multiple teams into each tier. To begin with the relegated, I'm going to select my 20th team first, then 19th and 18th, and then subsequently move on to the above relegation teams. So while the teams are going to be grouped together in their respective tiers, I am going to chronologically pick the teams on how I finish, or how I think that they will finish in the Premier League table. So to begin, in 20th, I am going to pick Burnley. Now, the reason I'm going to pick Burnley is we've seen them get relegated several times over the past couple of seasons, and we've seen the three promoted teams go right back down into the championship. But I don't think that that will be the case in this upcoming season, because I think Brentford will be relegated. They're losing several extremely important players to their previous teams, and obviously Thomas Frank is now the Tottenham manager as well. But I do think Sunderland will go right back down into the championship, and those will be the three teams that I predict will be relegated from the Premier League. Moving on, the teams that will narrowly escape relegation, I think Leeds will be one of them. I think they will be the sole team coming up from the championship that will remain in the Premier League this upcoming season. Also, along with them, I think Wolves will narrowly avoid relegation as well. They were not in a relegation battle last season, but I believe they finished 16th, and I think that they will finish 16th once again this upcoming season. Moving on to our mid-table clubs, in 15th I have Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth have not looked that great in preseason. While I don't hold preseason too highly for a lot of these teams, obviously when your manager comes out and says that you're way off of United, and United look terrible, that's a little bit of a red flag for me. Also, I think Brighton will come in 14th place. A little bit of a drop-off from what we've historically seen from Brighton over the past couple of seasons, but I think that they will be a pretty standard mid-table team, not really battling too much for relegation. But a big fall off, I think, will be Forest, who I predict will come in 13th. I think the load of the Europa League this season will be a little bit too much for Forest, and I think that they will fall down to a little bit of a mid-table team. I'm going to put Fulham in at 12th. That's the most Fulham finish of all time. And an improvement, I think, to West Ham, who will finish 11th, breaking down the remainder of the bottom half of the table. I think that they won't be in as much of a relegation battle as they were last season, and I think that they will round out the bottom half of the table in 11th place. Moving on to the top half of the table, I'm going to put Everton in at 10th. I think obviously Everton have been in a little bit of a relegation battle in previous seasons, not so much last year, but I do think that they will be a kind of standard mid-table team in the upcoming Premier League season, along with the likes of Crystal Palace. Obviously, Crystal Palace also will have European football to compete with in the upcoming season, but as it stands, they will be competing in the Conference League, where the likes of Forest will be competing in the Europa League. I think the Conference League to Europa League is a big drop-off in competition, and I think Crystal Palace will fare a little bit better than Nottingham Forest due to the fact that I think the competition will be a lot less of a burden for the likes of Palace. In 8th place, I'm going to pick Villa. A little bit of a drop-off from Villa from what we've seen in previous seasons, but obviously, I could see them going a little bit higher. I have a feeling there will be a drop-off for Villa. I think Ollie Watkins might make a move to the likes of potentially United or even Newcastle. But speaking of United, I have them coming in 7th place. I think United obviously had a very bad season last year. They made a couple good signings, and I think that there will be improvement from what they were last season, while not historically hitting what they've previously expected from United in the past. But I think not having to deal with European competition will be a benefit to United, and I could even see them qualifying a little bit higher. Moving on to our 6th place team, I am going to have Tottenham Hotspur in 6th place. I think Thomas Frank will improve the side. Obviously, Spurs will have Europe this season to compete with, but I do think Spurs will be a better team this year. And in 5th place, I have Newcastle. Those two teams, Newcastle and Spurs, I could really see flip-flopping, if I'm being entirely honest, but I do think that they will be the teams competing. Realistically, I could see it being Newcastle, Spurs, and United, really from 7 to 5. I think that I could see that getting quite competitive with those teams, maybe mixing in the odd Villa, another team maybe competing for those spots. Then coming in at 4th, maybe one of my biggest shock takes of this whole list will be Arsenal finishing in 4th. Arsenal, unfortunately, I don't think have been that impressive in the transfer window. Noni Madueke, I'm not completely convinced on. Gyökeres, I'm not completely convinced on. And I think Arsenal, while they've been impressive in previous seasons, I do think a little bit of a dip in form for them. Although, maybe a bold take for Arsenal, I think that they will win a domestic cup this season, exiting the trophy drought that Mikel Arteta has obviously been criticized for. In 3rd place, I have Chelsea. They've impressed me in the transfer window, and they were impressive in the Club World Cup. I think Chelsea at their best could really, really make a push this season. I don't think that they will push for the Premier League title, but I do think that they will round out 3rd place. And then we have City Pool. I think that Manchester City will improve this season. I think a lot of people are counting them out just for the fact that they were kind of unimpressive last season. I think Pep Guardiola will be back to his previous ways, but I don't think that they will win a Premier League title. I think they will come in 2nd, and obviously our champions will be Liverpool Football Club, my club. I think Liverpool have been extremely impressive in the transfer window. We won the Prem last season, and we've looked to improve on an already Premier League winning side. I think that with the transfers we've made, we've improved in areas that needed improvement, but we weren't desperate. So I do think Liverpool will win the Premier League. How competitive it will be, we will see. Obviously, at the current time I'm recording this, we haven't signed Alexander Isak yet, but I think there could be a potential for that. And I do think we will, maybe not too comfortably like last season, but I think we will comfortably win the Premier League this year. So that is my prediction for the upcoming Premier League season and how all these teams will fall. You guys will have to let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Click the like button, notification bell as well, so you know every time I make a new video. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.